opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to Outdoors People with me, C.W. Getz, and her, Maya Marzaki. Good evening. It's Wednesday, September 6th, 2023. We've got a beautiful 84-degree evening here in north central Illinois. In fact, that equates to 29 degrees Celsius. Maya, what do you have down there in the beautiful Brazil?
So every day is pretty much the same beautiful day in here. Doesn't matter if it's winter or summer.
You gotta love that, man. Yeah. Great place to live.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyways, today it is 28 degrees Celsius. It means for you guys in the United States, 82 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's pretty damn close. We're really close on this whole. I wish our winters were like your winters. Even close, even half. I would take half as good, man. It's just it's brutal up here. I promise you, if you come up in the winter, you'll never come back. You're gonna know it's too damn cold.
Yeah, that's why I went in the summer, right?
Well, absolutely. So yeah, and I think we climbed in your wintertime last year about this time. Well, maybe last month. It would have been a year ago. We were climbing in Belo Horizonte. How did I do it? Yeah.
Close enough.
Close enough. Well, I've been working on that for quite some time. So if I don't have it now, I'll never have it. But no, it was beautiful weather. It was just really like our summers here. So it just amazes me.
Yeah.
But well, tonight's episode of Outdoors People is brought to you by Rutabaga Paddle Sports, providing time on the water.
By Campground Views, making camping easier.
By Duluth Pack, made in the USA since 1882.
And by Jackson Kayak, pursuing joy through paddle sports.
Tonight's episode is the wonderful world of dragon boating with our guests, Rosa Abdala and Marc Applewhite. Mother of three and co-owner of, and I'm trying this, I should have done this before the show, but I did not. I'm going to try this and see how bad I screw this up. Mother of three and co-owner of Zona Fresca Restaurant in Diana Beach, Florida. Rosa Abdala is also a team paddler for the Dragon Boat team Puff, based in Florida. Rosa has been involved in competitive sports since her childhood, having run her first triathlon at age 16. So after years of conventional training, Rosa aspired to find a type of exercise that connected her to nature. That's when she discovered Team Puff and a passion for dragon boating. Since then, Rosa has been training intensely to become an elite paddler with the goal of competing at the highest levels. She is currently training to trial for Dragon Boat Team USA. 54-year-old semi-retired software engineer, full-time Dragon Boat coach, and organizer from Hollywood, Florida, Marc Applewhite had met several crew members of the Dragon Boat Team Puff while attending the Chinese New Year Festival in 2006. It wasn't long thereafter he joined the team, and within a year became their captain-elect, and coach. In 2009, Marc was selected as the U.S. national team Senior A 40 and over division, and by 2010 was participating in Florida's All-Star team, the Florida Tarpons. Shortly thereafter, Marc eventually began leading the Tarpons and went on to paddle for Team USA in 2011, 2013, 2015, and 2019. During that same year, Marc held the position of assistant coach for the USA Senior B, 50 and over, women's crew. He then became head coach for the Senior A division. Marc was also selected to lead the crew for the competitions in Hong Kong in 2021, but unfortunately the event was canceled due to COVID. This August, Marc led the team at the 16th IDBF World Dragon Boat Racing Championships in Thailand, where the Senior A division won its first gold medal in 10 years. Coincidentally, this was the first time in 22 years for winning multiple gold medals at the event. And with that, welcome to the show, Rosa and Marc.
Hi.
Thank you.
Welcome.
What an accomplishment. Wow. I mean, you guys are probably pretty stoked about this most recent competition, yeah?
Yeah, it was a great event. Everybody's still talking about it.
Yeah, a little partying going on after that, I'm sure. I would bet. Anyway.
That's all we'll think about.
Yeah, right.
That's funny. And Rose, how did you get started with dragon boating?
Well, I was actually looking to do some kind of sports outside, outdoors. And, one of our friends told me about, if you want to try dragon boating. So I did, I went once to a meetup that they have on Sundays. And since the first day that I was there, I said, you know what? I love it. And then I joined Puff. That's how I started.
Yeah, that's cool. Just fell in love. And Marc, could you give us a little background on the origin of dragon boating?
Sure, this is a complicated question, but there are at least three different, stories about where it originated in ancient China, BC. So the most popular one revolves around a statesman, Chu Yuan, around in the late 200s BC. And so this is during the era of warring states in China. And he was a very beloved statesman, but and he had made some recommendations to the king to partner with another state to fight on an oncoming, a much stronger state. So, but his suggestions were, by some of the advisors, were perceived as potentially dangerous, and he ended up being exiled. And while in exile, he learned of his state's defeat and threw himself in the river in desperation. Right, drowned himself, and then his followers came out and kind of beat at the water with sticks and threw rice in there, which evolved into the tradition of the sticky rice and paddling with what ended up being dragon boat paddling and kind of honoring Chu Yuan annually. So that's the most popular story, and then there's some very conventional, like still in the more rural areas, you find boats that are made out of a single piece of wood, a single tree, and city versus city. They got their own rituals with that, but as we know it today, the international sport came to us out of Hong Kong. And so they've got standardized boats, and so it came to the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office actually came to various places, including Philadelphia, and brought dragon boats there. Went to the rowing center, right? Not really, since it's the same word, where do you go to find people to paddle? Or you go to the rowing place.
Yeah.
So Philadelphia became the first dragon boat team, and then shortly after, I think San Diego, Boston. There's another variation that came out of Taiwan where you catch a flag at the end, and that made its way to Iowa.
Wow.
But pretty soon, by the end of the 80s, it was in a lot of places.
That's quite a history. I have to tell you that whole, I had no idea it was that really came from that type of a background. It's funny. You talk about the boats. In fact, I was going to that was my next question for you. These modern dragging boats, by the way, they're impressive vessels. Just looking at those things, but I'm curious about the specs of a dragon boat, the modern day dragon boats. Like, then I'm going to read these off to you, and width, length, weight. And then what is it made? What are these things made of these days?
Yeah, so the standard boat, the 20-person boat, is about 40 feet long, about 4 feet wide at the widest point. It's kind of tapered, so narrower in the front and back. and about 500 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And it's generally all fiberglass with wood seats. And I will read this description that I grabbed off the internet. It may make more sense to you, but it's
let me ask you this first. Is there a keel down the center of that thing, Mark?
That's what I was just going to answer.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'll be patient.
It's a concave keel plank with bulkheads. If that. Yeah. So basically, it down the side, it looks vertical from what you can see above water, and then it's got a tapered section, and then it's kind of got a partial.
Oh, I think we froze, kids.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is my internet bad?
No, I think our guest froze, but hopefully they'll be right back with us.
Yeah.
There's someone in the neighborhood that's gaming right now. You know that, and they're just filling all the bandwidth. And it was an interesting description. And so while we wait for Mark and Rosa to come back, it's interesting like that. They said 500 pounds on this boat, and I can't even. And I complain because I have a big Royal X boat that's like 74 pounds, I think is what it is, and that thing is a ton to lift, and I can't imagine. They're back with us now, but I can't imagine 500-pound boat. Mark, I'm glad you guys are back with us. That's sure what happened there. Somebody in the neighborhood's gaming, I'm sure. Go ahead with that description. Let's pick up where we left off.
So yeah, from the side, from above water, it's vertical, and then it underwater, then it tapers in a little bit, and then you've got that like a partial cylinder, but.
I think we are having some internet issues here. Yes, they're back with us now, right? There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. You're with us again, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, that's all right. We'll continue. Go ahead.
So I don't know exactly where we cut off, but yeah, looks vertical from the side. Right?
Yeah. Let me ask this: do you have this on this kind of a boat? And I'm going to go back to that weight thing. 500 pounds, and you said this boat was it fiberglass? You said.
Oh boy!
I think we're having some
neighborhoods.
We're having some major internet issues here. Well, hopefully they'll be back with us. I tell you what. In the meantime, let's break for a commercial while we see if we can fix our technical issues, and we'll be right back. All right, shortly.
A few years ago, someone asked Rutabaga's owner, Darren Bush, "Hey, how long have you guys been selling boats?" Darren replied, "Well, we don't sell boats. We sell time on the water." Of course, that comes in all types. We help people paddle more safely with Rutabaga outdoor programs. We rent canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We sell and install racks to get you from home to adventure. Rutabaga's got everything you need to get you out on the water, like paddles, life jackets, dry bags, and clothing. Rutabaga Paddle Sports, on the web at rutabaga.com. Mention you saw this ad on The Camping Show.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campground Views virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sites, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground Views virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
Duluth Pack is handcrafted for every lifestyle, making memories since 1882. In store at 365 Canal Park Drive or online at duluthpack.com.
We're one big family. a community of paddlers, and we want to make sure that everyone has a great time out on the water.
We are made right here in Sparta, Tennessee, USA.
This is where every Jackson kayak is born, built by hand with a focus on innovation.
We are Jackson Kayak.
We are
Jackson Kayak.
We're Jackson Kayak.
We are Jackson Kayak.
And we're back with our guests, Rosa Abdala and Marc Applewhite. See if they have joined us again. Are they there? They are. We made it back. Sorry, we're having some technical issues, guys. We left off with this question. I'm going to ask you, what type of paddles do you guys use for racing? Are these the super light carbon fiber racing paddles? And are they like a bench shaft, or are they straight?
Yeah, we do generally use carbon fiber. So we have some cheaper plastic ones that we have as club paddles when people are first starting out, and then most of us all buy the carbon fiber. We would love to use bench shaft paddles, but that's there's a spec that doesn't allow that. So they're locked into a shape. It has to fit into the mold.
Interesting. Okay, do we lose them? I think we lost them again. This is not. And we're back with our guests, Rosa Abdala and Marc Applewhite. We got our technical issues straightened out, I think, here. Marc, I'm going to ask you, what type of paddles do you guys use? I mean, are these the racing carbon fiber light, super light paddles with the bench shaft, or what actually kind do you use?
Yeah, most of us do buy the carbon fiber paddles. We got some plastic ones we use for new people to just kind of feel out until they're ready to make that purchase. But yeah, generally that's what we use. We would love to have the bent, the canoe bent style shaft, but we are limited by a spec for dragon boat racing. So it's a flat paddle that has to fit into a mold.
So they won't even let you use those if you had access to them. Oh wow, yeah, I get it.
Right.
Yeah, that would be a definite advantage. I can see that. And so, where do these competitions take place? I mean, where you guys all go, and I have to ask you, since I know this boat is 500 pounds, I mean, how do you transport that thing from country to country? I mean, that's got to be, yeah.
I love getting this question. We don't take our boat anywhere. So you might have a race. The nature of the races is that we might have 3 rounds for any division. We might have 3 rounds throughout the day where we're racing for 2 minutes, or whatever, depending on what the length is. So you might have 200 teams in a bigger event, and you're not going to have 200 of those boats laying around in there. So the organizers typically will have a batch of boats that are all standardized, and everybody just gets in and out of the same boats. So if they've got 6 lanes, they might have 12 boats. So one set of boats is out on the course, the other one is loading up, getting ready to go.
So you'd even notice these things are a different boat, or it's just like getting into your boat? Or when you say they're standardized, it's just, you wouldn't even know the difference?
Well, when I say they're standardized among themselves, but they are built to a spec, so the differences aren't that big, but there are subtle differences. A slight angle on the seat. They're always trying to make some little improvement, within the spec. So yeah, some of them are a little tighter than others. Some of them are a little tippier.
Wow.
And sometimes the foot where you can brace your feet is a little bit different. Things like that.
So, and the weird part about that is, it's like putting on somebody else's shoes. I mean, things feel different, and you're like, little tense for a race, and then the foot rests are different maybe, and everything's a little bit tippier. I would think that whole that's the sort of stuff would be standardized, but that's got to be just a kind of a distracting element, I would assume, right?
It's a subtle difference, but yeah, we like to, most of them, there's a few manufacturers that we see, so we've all been exposed to them at some point. But yeah, sometimes they're different. Like in Thailand, we just came back from there, and they were using Swift boats, and I've only been exposed to very old Swift boats, so it's a different, little bit different there. So we were trying to find whatever information we could to be ready for that.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I used to play tennis, and I cannot imagine playing with someone's racket.
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
that's bizarre to think about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Rose, I have a question, girl to girl question. So, how hard is making the time into training at the gym, practicing at the team while you are running your own business and raising 3 kids?
Well, I think that you have to organize yourself and, have a plan and, yes, have an early day in the morning. I start with the gym, then I go to work, then I go back to the kids, and then I go to the gym. So, it's more than anything, I think is just being disciplined in what you do, commitment, and then, have a plan through the day. But yeah, it's not easy, but I can do it, I guess
You are
everybody can do it,
Yeah, you are just a Wonder Woman. That's all. That's why you can do that.
No, when you really are passionate about something, and the sports in this case, I love, sports, especially paddling, you find a way, and you find a time to do everything that you really want to do. You do.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to bring this up, Rosa. You have a recent injury. You've got a wounded flipper, as we say. And what did you do? How did that happen? What happened there? Tell us about that.
Oh, I got surgery last Friday, like 4 days ago. It was the ACL. I was going a little too crazy at the gym with some weights. Unfortunately, it was too much weight for me. But I'm getting better. It's 4 days, so far, and I feel better. Grateful to be here. Grateful to getting back on my feet, and I think it's a little easier for me. I guess when you really exercise and you are in shape and you really take your time to do that every day, when something like this happens, it's the recovery is a lot easier, at least for me. It's been 4 days, and I'm not lying, the first a couple of days it was very hard for me, but today I feel a lot better.
Well, that's good to hear. And I wish you a continued speedy recovery on that. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Well, and so switching gears here, Rosa, let me ask you a question. This dragon boating sport that you discovered, okay? That had to be pretty exciting, first of all, because you found that connection between exercise and being in touch with nature. What most do you enjoy about the sport, and what is your ultimate goal within it specifically?
Well, being outside, I think to me makes a big difference. Yes, the sun, the water, everything that comes to doing a sport, outdoors, it's a different feeling than being inside a gym. It's a complete different feeling. You just recharge your energy. That's how I feel. And what I want, I'm gonna keep doing this, because my goal is to be part of USA team. Probably I can start, doing my time trials or starting training for next year, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy, but whatever it takes for me to do it. Yep.
So we're looking for a gold medal down the line here somewhere. We're gonna be satisfied with silver. We're not gonna settle for that. We're gonna go for gold, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No silver. It's gotta be gold.
Yeah, that doesn't even count, right? I'm just making that up.
Come on.
Oh yeah, we don't like silver. We don't like silver. We only like gold.
There you go. That's a great attitude.
That applies in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm with you, girl. Let's go for the gold. Well, and how many countries have teams that compete internationally?
So I just read something about it being over 80. I know that the International Dragon Boat Federation, applying for an Olympic bid, they had to meet the threshold that was like 72 or 74 countries, and that was a few years ago. So I know where they've blown past that number. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. Well, you know what? And so, Team USA has experienced quite. I mean, you guys have been very successful, as we understand. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, what kind of titles have you guys clinched, so to speak?
Yeah. So it works. There's all these age divisions, right? We have the juniors and under 24s, and then Premier is the unlimited, the equivalent of the Olympics. And then we have seniors at 40 plus, senior A, senior B, 50 plus, senior C, 60 plus. So in any of those divisions, the USA is always in there. It's one of the bigger groups where we're deep enough to have teams in all the divisions. Like Canada, Australia is mostly in all of them. Great Britain has a big presence, things like that. But generally, we're always in the medals in pretty much across the boards, and from in all divisions. So in any given year, some divisions will outperform, the history, and others may do a little less. But Canada has always been the team to beat pretty much in all divisions. Premier has a lot more, there's a lot more contenders in there. A lot more of the Asian teams are only in Premier. But Canada, when we get into anything that's age restricted, then they're just deep enough that they've always been very strong in that. And so my division, my 40 plus crews have had it's always been kind of us, or Canada us, and then everybody else, or actually maybe Canada us, Australia, everybody else. And so this time we beat Canada a few times. So very tight racing with Canada this time. So it was a big deal. So several gold medals for my crews there, and the juniors also did really well.
That's impressive. You must be a hell of a coach, Mark. That's all I can say. I mean, you guys are doing very well.
Yeah,
Big pat on the back there, right? Yeah, absolutely.
And about that, Mark, as a trainer, are there any specialized workouts used for training dragon boats athletes?
Not really. I mean, there's a couple exercises we can pick out that mimic some of the movements. So like a straight arm lat pull down has a similar, we use the downward pressure in the same way, down, really both hands downward pressure. But a couple other things, working the rotation. So I've done like a cable rowing machine with a single hand pulley to really get used to rotating and a strong derotation, working the obliques to derotate. But mostly what I teach is just the movement patterns, kind of powerlifter style. In powerlifting, they like the squat, deadlift, and the bench. I include a row in that. That's pretty important for us. So really the basics, just focusing on those four things, maybe some accessories, but generally just getting strong on all the movement patterns. And for especially like, Miami, we don't really have an off season, right? We paddle year round, but in other places, I coach people all over the country, and they, so if they've really got downtime, then it's, just get stronger, but
I think I'm moving to Florida. I like that whole program. No, really, I like that whole program. We don't have an off season, and People up here get fat. We get slow and lazy and things in the wintertime.
Oh
People
my
don't have that.
gosh.
That's why people from Florida look the way they do. They're all in shape all the time. I love it. I'd say that, and everybody says it's a very big, like a cliche sort of thing, but it really paddling, because I'm a paddler too, but paddling is a really huge core. Core has a lot to do with it. I mean, would you agree, Mark? I'm not a trainer, but that's what I'm asking. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, let me tell you. Typically, when somebody starts, okay, if they're day one, I'm gonna learn how to paddle. I'm gonna be a Dragonboat paddler. How long does it take from that moment, all the way until they are actually in a position or in shape that they're ready to compete? Strength and paddling techniques.
Yeah, it depends how you define competing, right? So we have races that are very recreational, or teams that go to a race as a recreational team. There might be other more competitive teams there, but so we have people. We have races that we will take people to, and we might go 2 or 3 boats deep in a division, and then so our second or third boat. Pretty much everybody who signed up, if they joined the team last week, we're going to try to get them in there, get them exposed to racing. And they can, if usually a couple of sessions, they can keep time. They're not going to screw everybody up on the boat. So they just won't be as efficient as somebody that's been doing it longer. Now we got people that do it for decades, and the attitude at least is that we should always be getting better. We're always still learning. We're always, and a lot of people that have been doing it for decades, even as they're aging, are still getting faster.
Well, Rosa, let me ask you, how long did it take you to get from when you started to get to where you're like, hey, we're ready for competitions here?
Well, like Mark said, it depends also how much effort and how often you do it. The more you do it, obviously, the better you're gonna get. For me, since the beginning, I wanted it so bad. I like it, and I want it, and I keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and then
you're a diehard. I know that about you. You are a diehard. Would you like 2 weeks and you're ready? I'm like, yep, I'm ready, coach. Put me in. I love it.
See, that's how it is when you really like something, well, at least for me. And then, I will go to practices, work on whatever he will tell me to work on. You need to do this and this and this and this, and keep getting stronger, going to practices, and then everything starts from there, And then little by little, I got getting better and better and better, better on the time trials, better on the technique, and that's how it is.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's cool. As I told before, you are a Wonder Woman, so that's why you got like now week. Well, we have some pictures to look up, but after this little break, so don't go away.
A few years ago, someone asked Rutabaga's owner, Darren Bush, "Hey, how long have you guys been selling boats?" Darren replied, "Well, we don't sell boats. We sell time on the water." Of course, that comes in all types. We help people paddle more safely with Rutabaga outdoor programs. We rent canoes, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. We sell and install racks to get you from home to adventure. Rutabaga's got everything you need to get you out on the water, like paddles, life jackets, dry bags, and clothing. Rutabaga Paddle Sports, on the web at rutabaga.com. Mention you saw this ad on The Camping Show.
It is time to go camping. Introducing Campground View's virtual tours. You can tour the campground, see the sights, see if they are available, and click to book your perfect spot. Hit the open road and explore the amazing places found in nature. We make it easy to discover, find, and book your site so that you can go have the fun and freedom you seek. Campground View's virtual tours make it easy and simple for you to see where you are going.
Duluth Pack is handcrafted for every lifestyle, making memories since 1882. In store at 365 Canal Park Drive or online at duluthpack.com.
We're one big family, a community of paddlers, and we want to make sure that everyone has a great time out on the water.
We are made right here in Sparta, Tennessee, USA.
This is where every Jackson kayak is born, built by hand with a focus on innovation.
We are Jackson Kayak.
We are
Jackson Kayak.
We're Jackson Kayak.
We are Jackson Kayak.
All right, we're back with Rosa and Mark and Juan. Let's take a look at some pictures that they sent us here, and we'll have them tell us about each one of those. Yeah, what are we looking at here? Rosa, you look all decorated there. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. All gold everywhere. I love that picture.
Are those gold? Really? Are those really gold medals?
Yes,
Right?
they are. Remember that
Oh,
was
my
Orlando.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Very happy.
Man, you know what? That you look definitely rock starish there. I can tell you, man. You are a happy team.
And you look good on gold.
Yeah, right. I love it. There we go. There's the dragon boat, and that's amazing.
That's so cool.
What's the person in the back do? What do they do? Like the mush with the dog sled and whipping people, or no?
Yeah, the whip mostly. Yeah. That's me on that one. So I'm leading. Looks like I'm leading a practice there. So I'm steering the boat. So there's no J strokes or anything like that. Everybody's just paddling straight.
Wow.
And I'm probably running like intervals or something.
That's interesting. I really never thought about that. So, I was kind of asking you about the keel just for that reason. I go, okay, how does this boat track? But so literally you have someone in the back always steering that boat.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. How many people are in that on the team there typically?
So if the boat's full, there would be 20. Looks like we're about 14 there.
Okay.
Wow.
20 people. That's some horsepower. I love that.
Yeah.
Ooh, another picture. That beautiful background. That is, what city is that? Miami? Yeah. That's very cool. I love that. And you are synchronized. What if somebody gets out of sync? I mean, what does that throw the boat off? That's what the whips was. Exactly. I love it. Yeah. I mean, that would be, you really have to watch what's going on in front of you, don't you, when you're paddling like that? You can't.
Yeah, you get in the zone. So they do it differently. Some teams time off of the very front row. We time off the paddler directly in front of you. And I think it's easier to just get in that zone, right? All you're watching is the paddle in front of you, and you just get in that rhythm.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Okay, we got 4 going on here. What are we looking at? 2009. Okay, so what is
so
this?
that's the year. 2009 is when they established that program. So that's a race organizer, and what they call Major League Dragon Boat is their series of their major events, including Orlando. So this is probably at Orlando. Looks like it.
That boat on the bottom right here. I mean, people just listening, you can't see this, but there looks like, or is that 2 boats I'm looking at, one behind the other one? It looks like there's a lot of people in that boat.
Yeah, there's probably more than one boat there.
Okay, I'm seeing just this big blob of people. Wow, very impressive though. Yes. What do we got here, Rosa?
Oh, yeah. One more goal.
One more goal. You're like collecting those. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
What's this trophy? I love this trophy. What is that on top of that trophy? What is that supposed to?
He's a dragon. He's like a muscly dragon.
Oh, that's cool. I couldn't quite make that out. I love that.
With sunglasses on, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. Very fashionable. Oh, yeah.
The Florida dragon, right? Yeah, I love it.
That's cool.
That is very cool. Now, This doesn't look like Florida, but it is though, right?
Yeah, that's our practice area. That's our boat.
Okay.
Yep.
How fast do you guys get going when you really get clipping along? Like how many knots would you say?
We speak kilometers.
Good. I'm glad.
And it's so we're a little slower in the basin in our boats. The boat is slower. I mean, a lot of times we have less than a full crew, and there's some weird currents going on in there. So it's rare that we see more than about a 13 kilometer per hour in the basin.
Okay.
But a nicely selected, tuned race crew, mixed race crew going, probably going to hit 17 and cruise in the 15s.
Well, what is that in miles per hour? Just a guess. You don't have to be exact.
I don't know, 10, 11 on the start, something like that.
Yeah, not 40 or 50 or anything like that, right?
No.
Yeah. That's still moving that's moving right along though. 10, 11 miles an hour. Yeah, in a boat for sure. That's a nice picture. I like that.
Yeah. Look at the clouds.
Yeah, it looks like that's boat to boat. So we've got two. We're using the pink boat from the breast cancer survivor team, and then probably our own boat from here.
I like that.
Yeah, that is really fun because when we have two boats, we race against each other.
Oh.
When we practice. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's kind of like basketball scrimmage, That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there we go.
Oh, that's a nice picture.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a cool looking boat, by the way. You said, and let me ask you again, you said fiberglass on the inside of these things, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that's so heavy, I'm sure. But I like the interior of that boat, though. I mean, it's that looks nice. It's a great looking boat, by the way. Great looking team, and that's a great picture, by the way. Yeah, the clouds and the people and the palm trees and look at that. Suitable for hanging.
There's a little island, where we practice. There's a little island right in the middle.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
I think I'm going to move to Florida and be on a dragon boat.
All right, come on down, man.
I'm telling you, this looks so much fun. All right, we got another picture yet? Yes, we do. All right. There we go. There we're racing, and that's a cool picture. In fact, Rosa, I think that's you. I recognize you in that boat, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
That was in July in South Florida.
You're the one with the massive muscles. I see. I'm not making that up either. You're very
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, nice picture. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those are great pictures. I love that racing picture. Yeah.
Cute. Yeah. So much fun.
I mean, that looks like something you'd see on ABC's Wide World of Sports back in the day. I do love that. That's very cool. All right, here we go. Last photo, it says. Does that mean one more, or is that the last one? Okay, maybe that's the last one. Okay, looks like. Sorry, go ahead. Take it away, Maya.
Yeah, so I saw the pictures, and I am wondering who come up with the clever idea of the name of the team, Puff.
So the team founders were a couple from Hong Kong and Macau, and I guess they came up with it. I'm sure it's inspired by the Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah, I was thinking it. I hear Mama and Papa's song on there. I love that. Well, what competitions you guys coming up here got next for Team Puff?
So we've got the Synergy Series that happens 3 times a year right here in Hollywood, Florida. And that's on 10-person boats. So that's one that we can get several boats in any division and get everybody racing, basically everybody that signs up. But we'll still have our top teams in the first boat. And so that's mid-September. And then in October, we have Orlando that you were showing some pictures of there. We'll have that one. And end of October, we've got another race by the same organization in Miami. And then we've got another Synergy race in December 9th.
Yeah, you've got some really cool events coming up here. Yeah, absolutely. And that'll take us to the end of the year then. That's all before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's bad.
And I hope see the Wonder Woman on gold in our competition.
Yes. I got a feeling she's going to be back before you know it, right?
Yeah, I'm working on it. You guys need to come over here so you can, go with us to one of the races.
It'd be cool to cover one of those events, Mark. That's some food for thought, because we could easily come to Florida and do that. I think that would be excellent.
Yeah, such a good idea. Okay, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Right?
You gotta bring one of those, the Chicago famous pizzas over here?
Oh, we can bring that with us. I can put one of those in a suitcase. That'll be no problem. I'll just make you one when we come down there. Right? Yeah.
Oh, even better.
Absolutely.
And I can bring with me some Brazilian famous liquors.
Yeah.
What is the name of it?
Cachaça.
Yeah, cachaça. You guys know. Now we are talking.
Caipirinha.
Oh, yeah. You make caipirinha with cachaça, right?
Yeah, actually, I made one for CW when I went there in his home. He loved it.
Yeah,
so much
got drunk
fun.
on one drink. Yeah.
Yes, I know. They're very strong. Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Good.
That's the whole program. Well, Mark and Rose, where can people find each of you online and also the team?
You go. All right. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram by name, MARC, and then Applewhite, like the fruit and the color. And Puff Instagram, Puff DBRT Miami. There's a Facebook group, Puff Dragonboat Racing Team. And the best place for people who are in the area and want to get on a boat and try it would be joinpuff.com, and that will take them to our meetup group, and they can sign up for a Sunday beginner event.
Excellent. That's wonderful. Yeah, you guys are everywhere. You're like the weather. I love that. You guys are everywhere, and that's the way it should be. Publicity. Well, Mark and Rosa, listen, thank you for both of you for being our guests here on Outdoors People. It was a pleasure having you guys with us.
No, thank you.
Pleasure's
Thank you very
ours.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I hope we can share some caipirinhas up there in Florida.
Absolutely. With the pizza, please, with the Chicago pizza as well.
Yes, with pizza. Don't forget it. We cannot drink with empty stomach, right? So we need to eat some pizza, Chicago pizzas before.
Good point.
Well, we'd also want to thank each of our sponsors to bring you tonight's show: Rutabaga Paddle Sports, Campground Views, Duluth Pack, and Jackson Kayak.
Tune in for next week's episode of Run Like a Woman with special guest Natalie Dow. Along with Maya Marzaki, this is CW Getz saying thanks for tuning in to Outdoors People. See you next week.
Ciao.